Hello, I'm Lucy from Colouring in the Midst of Madness, and today is my first ever video with me actually on camera. So hello. I have been wanting to do this for a while, but I've always been quite scared, so normally you see me behind the camera, and actually that's quite a new thing. I'm normally just on my blog. So I write both In the Midst of Madness and Colouring in the Midst of Madness, which was kind of a spin-off to do my colouring reviews. And yeah, I kind of wanted to get into vlogging. I don't really know if this is going to go anywhere. I've actually just got off the phone to one of my friends from university, and she's just been giving me a pep talk, and finally got me to sort of pluck up the courage to actually at least sit and film something and see what happens. So a few things about me. First is I'm absolutely terrible at eye contact, even with a camera, so I'm afraid that my eyes will be all over the place, because I find it really distracting looking in one position all the time, especially when I'm talking to someone, because the reaction on their face, I'm constantly trying to work out what they're thinking and what they're going to say next and what they're thinking, what I'm saying, and then I completely lose what I'm talking about. And actually I have found that it's the same if I look in one place anyway, so I'm afraid that I won't be looking at the lens very often, and if I do, it's a real concerted effort. The second thing is you will notice my hands. They go everywhere, and I either try and keep them really still by doing this and end up with like white knuckles and white nails, because I'm gripping so hard and trying to keep still, or they end up kind of doing their own little dance, and mostly that's my anxiety coming out. I'm quite an expressive person anyway, but I really can't keep my hands still, and I did try for one video and I spent the whole time talking like this, and it's not me being true to myself. It's not how I behave in real life. I'm often laughed at by my, well, not laughed at, laughed with by my friends, because I'm just known for having outlandish hands and arms and very expressive words and voice and all sorts. So hopefully you'll get used to that. It is just what I do. Yeah, also the ums and ahs, I really can't edit those out. There are far too many of them. I keep apologising for this on my videos, which I really should stop because it's not deliberate, and it's mostly because I absolutely detest silence. Whenever I'm with people, they really comment on the fact that I just don't stop talking. This is actually what I'm like in real life. Unfortunately my speech gets faster when I'm anxious, which I'm quite nervous right now. I'm kind of dying inside. You probably can't tell. I've been told that I'm very good at covering it up, so you may not see that I'm completely bricking it, but you'll probably be able to tell by the fact that I'm talking really fast and my eyes are all over the place. Yeah, there we go, there's the lens again. And yeah, I also can't have a script when I'm talking. I can't focus well enough on that. So if I ever do any of these videos in future, and any of the videos I've done in the past, I sort of start recording with a plan, but that's very, very brief. And then I just kind of pad it out with whatever comes into my head. I really struggle to kind of stick to a structure. This is kind of the nature of having an anxious mind, so I already have a very active mind anyway, and it really goes off on tangents. I am known within my family and friends for just randomly coming out and saying something like, do you reckon bees have waists? And I won't have spoken for a couple of minutes, which is rare because as I said, I don't like silence. But I will have been thinking about the latest colouring book, so like Ivy and the Inky Butterfly has lots of bumblebees in it, and then I'll think about the fact that they've got abdomens, and then I'll think, oh, I wonder if they have a waist, and then I'll come out and say that. But I won't tell anyone about the links in between. So if I'm quiet for a few moments, it's not usually that I'm thinking nothing. I think I'd have to probably be dead to think nothing. I have an extremely active mind, and that's been made a lot worse by having anxiety. And it means that I'm usually thinking like multiple things at once, about all sorts of things. So I find it really hard to kind of focus on one thing. Like partway through this I actually forgot that I was recording, and wondered why I was talking out loud. So I'm glad I didn't stop. I hope I didn't. But yeah, there won't be a script. So For those of you that don't like sort of random or chaotic videos, then I'm afraid I'm not going to be the person for you. I don't do scripted, I don't really do planned. These are not going to be sort of professional, polished videos. It's very much going to be like having a chat with me in real life. I'm sure once this is shown to sort of people that know me, they'll all say, yep, that's you all day, every day. So yeah, I guess this will just give you a bit of a snapshot into my life and what it's like being me, and in my crazy head. So yeah, and I tend to lose the point as well, so I'm not totally sure where I was going with that. Another thing you should know is, and I was talking to my friend about this earlier, so I'm sure she'll laugh if she gets to this point in the video. If you've got good broadband, or you're watching this on HD, then you may well notice that I don't have proper eyelashes or eyebrows. I also don't wear makeup, can't be bothered with any of that. But yeah, the reason I don't have eyebrows or eyelashes properly is because I have a condition called Trichotillomania, and I've had it for a really long time, and I blogged about it, so I did that a couple of years ago. It's one of the hardest posts I've ever had to write, actually. It's really exposing, and I really don't like feeling vulnerable. But I will pop a link to that in the description box below so that you can have a read and find out a bit more about it. But basically it's a condition where you kind of obsessively pull hair. Don't ask me why, it's really bizarre. But I guess it's sort of like nail biting, which I also do. Let's not show you those. But yeah, it kind of becomes a habit. I don't know why I started. There's more talk about it in the post. But yeah, when I'm stressed, I have hypersensitive hands, and so if I like stroke my eyebrows and stuff, I can really feel the hairs, and yeah, I end up pulling my eyelashes and my eyebrows out. So I haven't had proper eyelashes since I was 16, so 10 years, and I haven't had proper eyebrows since I was 18, and it can be really embarrassing, and you get some really nasty comments. So I just thought I'd explain it now in the first video so that I don't start getting people going, where the hell are your eyebrows? Or worse, like I've had, which I've explained in the post. So if you don't like it, don't watch anymore. They're not going to come back anytime soon. I'm too busy pulling them out. So yeah, it's a real stress thing. In fact, actually, you can really kind of tell my stress levels, because if I've got good eyebrows, I'm not particularly stressed at the moment, and if I have no eyebrows, then like approach me with caution, because I'm not coping well. Same with my hands. At the moment, my nails are doing quite well. There we go, I am showing you them. But yeah, there are times where I basically don't have nails. Certainly not anything that resembles anything sort of white or that you could paint. So yeah, I get very stressed, and then I sort of physically take it out on my body. So yeah, those are probably the biggest sort of things to try and explain, so that I hopefully don't spend all of the other videos apologising and explaining and stuff. I am very prone to waffling. This is probably really long. I don't have any snazzy equipment, so I'm currently sat in my lounge, this is my sofa, with a tripod, and it's really weird. It kind of looks like I'm talking to Wally or myself. My neighbours can probably hear this and probably wonder why no one's actually responding when I'm talking, and why there are no gaps, because obviously in a phone call there are gaps for the other person to speak. Mostly, not always in phone calls with me, but usually. So they probably think that I'm mad now, but never mind. I've got all of you guys, all 5 of you who might watch this, hopefully sat there laughing by now, either at me or with me. Either is fine, I'm not picky. I'm talking really fast, I'm really sorry. Yeah, I forget to breathe as well. So yeah, this is what it's like being anxious. I literally turned the camera on to film myself basically saying hello, and I don't actually know how long this is because I can't see the back of the camera unless I lean forwards, and that's not happening. So yeah, I'm going to need a better setup at some point, I think. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give this a go, and introduce myself. I realise I haven't actually done that other than telling you my name and my blog names. So I'm 26, I'll be 27 next month, and I live in West Sussex in the UK. in a seaside town. And my partner is currently a chef, and he works really, really long hours, so I spend a lot of time on my own, which is probably why I'm so chatty at every available opportunity. So we've lived together for 4 years, and next week we will celebrate our 6-year anniversary, which is exciting. And he's about to change jobs, so he'll be starting to work at a train station, which is really, really exciting. We've been waiting for this for ages, so yeah, that should be a really good move for us. So yeah, there's not a huge amount to know about me. I currently can't work, I'm not well enough. I have agoraphobia, which has left me virtually housebound for the last 3.5 years, since March 2014. It's a really long time actually. I've also been diagnosed with generalised anxiety disorder and social phobia, and I suffer from panic attacks. So those are really not any fun at all, and they'll sort of be the things that I talk about because they're the most current things. They're the things that affect my life every day. They're the things that are currently making my stomach feel like I've got a swimming pool inside it because I'm just nervous. And those are the conditions that make my hands go everywhere. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm living with. I've got various other health problems. I'm really fun at parties. Not that I can go to parties because I'm agoraphobic. But if I went to parties, I would be that really fun person who has far too many things wrong with them, especially for their age. So I have depression. I've had depression since I was just before I turned 16, so just over 10 years, well nearly 11 actually. And I have ME, which is also known as CFS, or chronic fatigue syndrome, depending where you are in the world. I've had that since I was 9. I'm mostly coping well with that. I'm at about sort of 85–90% functioning most of the time, but I used to be in a wheelchair because of it. And I also have irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, which is made so much worse by my anxiety. It means that sometimes, even when I'm planned to go out and I'm capable of going out, I can't because I can't leave the toilet. So that's even more fun to add on to all of the things that go on and go wrong with me. So yeah, I think that's all of kind of the big conditions that I've got. And yeah, if this sort of goes well, and if any of you are remotely interested in hearing about it, then I will talk more about these things in the future, and hopefully have a bit more interaction with you guys, and you can kind of see the person behind the blog, because there are a handful of photos of me that I've put on there, but generally I don't put very many photos on there. I kind of keep those to my private Facebook, and actually on there aren't very many photos of the last sort of 3.5 years. So yeah, I thought I'd kind of put a face to the blogger, because it can be quite anonymous, and quite kind of, I don't know, almost cold. It's quite weird writing a blog, because you sit at your laptop and you type away and you sort of rant about something, or kind of try and express stuff to people, either about what they're experiencing, or how you don't want to be treated and things like that. And then you sort of upload it and off it goes. And it's very weird. It's not like having a conversation with someone. I do sometimes get comments, and that's amazing. It's so nice hearing from someone that's read what I've written, whether that be them expressing sympathy or anything, just thanking me for explaining it, or helping them to understand what they might be going through, or what someone else is going through. I know some of my family have read my blogs, and they find it really helpful in understanding what I'm going through, because I find it much easier to put it into words and to kind of make it succinct. As you can tell, I don't talk in a very kind of concise way, so I can express what these conditions are like, but it's quite difficult to get it sort of into a short period of time. And actually having the blog means that I can sort of edit it down a bit, though I don't particularly edit my work, but I find that when I'm typing stuff out, it sort of becomes a bit more punchy, a bit more concise, a bit easier to kind of understand than speaking. And so I think it's helped quite a lot of my relatives, well, the ones that have read it, to kind of understand what life's like for me, and what these conditions are like, because it's not as obvious as it might seem. Like things like the people around me, I don't think realise that the reason my hands are everywhere is because I'm anxious, and the reason I talk so fast is because I've got so much nervous energy, and it feels almost like my insides are fizzing, kind of like a bath bomb. And yeah, inside it's just buzzing away, and I just have to get that out. So yeah, that's kind of me. And yeah, I just wanted to sort of ultimately I just wanted to say hello, and let you know who I am, and sort of see where this goes, because I get bored a lot of the time, and I thought this would be a really nice way of kind of interacting a bit better, and hopefully someone might watch it, might be interested, it might make you laugh. I hope it makes you laugh. I hope it doesn't annoy too many of you and make you switch off really, really quickly. If it has, then you'll have been long gone by now, so you won't know that I'm sorry for that if that's how it made you feel. So yeah, please let me know what you think in the comments. Please be kind. I am mentally ill, so please don't say nasty things. If you've got constructive criticism, by all means give that. And yeah, it would be really nice to hear from you. Please do subscribe, and we'll see where this goes from here. So for the time being, I will finally actually say goodbye after saying hello at least 4 times now. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon. So thanks for watching. Bye!